Hi everyone, so today I'm going to talk about some of the biggest mistakes that young people tend to make with money. Now, in fairness, some of them are no different to pretty much anybody else. Things like overspending or not planning for the future, not investing now, although it has to be said for young people, it's a much bigger thing because, of course, the longer people delay, the more it becomes difficult when it comes to the compounding process. However, one thing I would say about young people is this, is that one of the biggest mistakes young people can make with money is not focusing on future earning potential. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, if somebody's 45 or 50, I'm not saying it's impossible to double or triple or quadruple your money, especially if you're in a very focused area like something like sales, or you have your own business or whatever, and you find a way of using, I don't know, online means to kind of scale your business or whatever. But the fact is, when you're in your 20s and 30s, especially 20s though, maybe 30, early 30s as well, it's the one time where if you make the right decisions, you can actually increase your earning potential by 4, 5, 10 times, 20 times, or whatever. I mean, I'll give you a great example of short-sightedness. I can remember about 6 years ago, I was speaking to a guy in Shanghai. Now, he was an English teacher. He was making about 20,000 RMB a month. Well, about 22, 23 once you include private students. Now that's almost 4,000 US dollars a month. Well, at the time it was. Now it's about $3,500 because of the Chinese RMB going down. That's excellent money for most 22 or 23-year-olds. However, what he didn't realize is that when he's 30, unless he loves his job, it wasn't probably a sustainable situation because he was never in love with teaching. He didn't mind it, but he was never in love with teaching. And that kind of money is not excellent when you're 30 or 40 or whatever. And I said to him, why don't you try to do something else? And he actually went for a few interviews with some recruitment agencies, some real estate agencies, and so on, but he didn't take the job. And the reason why is the base salary was so low, often about 20%, 25%, 30% of what he was making, that he said no. But the fact of the matter is, you have to look at longer term earning potential. If you're 22 or 23 and you're doing something like that, at the end of the day, your longer term earning potential is more likely to be high than if you're, a teacher or something in an office job. So if you think you could be good at it, why do you even care what you're going to be earning next year or in 3 years? The key point would be what are you going to make in 5 years, 8 years? And the funny thing is, I spoke to him a few weeks ago, and he said he would now regrets his decision because one or two of his former teaching friends have gone into those careers. They had 1 or 2 difficult years, but now they're making 5 or 10 times, sometimes more than what he's making. And I've also seen now with other people, like people who've had boring office jobs. I mean, when you're in your 20s, early 20s, mid 20s, that's the time to actually quit and take the hit on your salary for longer term earning potential. But again, most people have this loss aversion, like what we talked about in investing. Most people are so petrified of losses that they don't focus on the potential gains. But the same thing, even when it comes to salary, a lot of people are not willing to take the hit short term. But for young people in particular, taking the hit can make sense.